Welcome to the ninth grade experience. I'm your host, Chris Stutchko. As a teacher of freshmen and one of our freshman mentor committee faculty advisors, I spend a lot of my school day thinking about and helping students with the successful transition from middle school to the halls of Emmaus High School. The goal of this podcast is to give you the story of the ninth grade here at Emmaus High School through the people who live it daily, the students and staff. We will attempt to touch on the real issues and stories that ninth grade students face, ranging from academics to athletics, technical school, and just trying to find your way as one person in a community of approximately 2,700 students. We will also look to speak with some of the influential staff members who play a key part in a student's ninth grade year. It is the hope that future ninth grade students and their families can use the tips and insights provided here to begin making connections to their potential new school and learn more about the day-to-day lives of the students that they will one day become and realize from day one that ninth grade counts. You can learn more about this episode and all of the episodes of the ninth grade experience by following us on Twitter at EHSFMC or at Chris Stutchko, or following the hashtag EHS9counts, or our website, sites.google.com/eastpennsd.org/ninth grade experience. Before we jump into today's topic, let's thank our sponsor for this show, the East Penn Education Foundation. This podcast has been made possible through a $1,000 grant awarded to teachers like me each year who are attempting to do unique projects in the area of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. The foundation supports programs that put learning in motion by giving students the tools they need to think actively in a complex and changing world. You can follow them on Facebook at EPSD Education Foundation, on Twitter at EPSD EdFound, or on Instagram at EPSD Ed Foundation. Now on to the show. It's now less than 1 week to the opening curtain for the freshmen and all those involved in the production of the theater department's spring musical, Hello, Dolly. In Volume 4 of this behind-the-scenes look at the preparation before the show's Wednesday, March 18th debut, we check back in with Mason Steltz, Zientara, and Jacob Klinedinst to get the scoop behind what it's been like since we last heard them taking to the stage for rehearsals for the first time in the middle of February. In this conversation, the boys discussed the lengthy process of getting each performance in the show just right, the bonding and feelings of family towards the cast from spending so much time together, and what will be going through their minds leading up to the performances and when they hit the stage. Near the end of the episode, we also discussed the effects that the recent COVID-19 outbreak could have on the scheduled performance dates and what that would mean to the performers. If you're interested in learning more about the performance of Hello, Dolly, or would like to purchase tickets, please go to the Emmaus High School website and look for the Hello, Dolly banner. Now on to the show. We are back here for our third installment of finding out from our freshmen that are getting ready to perform in Hello, Dolly here. We're here with Dom, and we're here with Jacob, and we're here with Mason, who is participating via FaceTime because he's not feeling well and he's not in school today. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining in. We are now a week away, so tell me how it's been going since the last time we talked. The last time we talked, if I remember correctly, you guys were being rushed out of here to go onto the stage for one of the first times for your rehearsals. So it's been a while since we've talked, so what has been going on since then?
Well, since then, I'm going to say that rehearsals have only gotten longer, and we have started to go till 8 today and tomorrow, and it's been a lot for the past couple of days, like maybe 2 weeks, but yesterday we had a very good run yesterday. We didn't get through the whole show, but what we did, I felt that it was really good, and I feel like the show is coming together very well.
So we're talking today, it's Thursday, March 12th, which is the Thursday before the first performance. The first performance is scheduled for next Tuesday, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, about the scheduling and what's going on with all that kind of stuff. But either for Mason or for Jacob. What else? What have you guys been thinking about the performances, the practices? I know we're getting longer. It's getting closer to showtime here. How are you feeling about what's been happening?
There's been some good runs, and there's been some scary, very, very scary runs. The other day, some of the numbers were feeling a little low energy.
A little shaky.
A little shaky, but we're, of course, going to work through those. A lot of the big numbers, we want them to be perfect. I think what school just did Hello Dolly? Saucon Valley?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it was Saucon Valley.
Yeah, we want to be at least toe-to-toe with them.
So is that something that you guys will talk about during this process of does anyone actually go see the other school's performance of the musical, and do they kind of judge, or is that something that you just are so focused on your own performance for the school that you really don't have the ability to go check those things out?
I mean, a couple people in the cast have gone and seen it.
And what did they say, or what did they bring back? Any sort of tips or tricks, or?
They just said, Mason, you could take this.
Sorry, we got to remember that Mason's participating from the electronic world, so we got to deal him in. So, Mason, what have you seen it, or what have you heard about the other schools' performances?
I've not seen it, but I have heard from people different viewpoints on it. I don't want to throw anything bad out there or anything because I've heard that it was a good production and stuff, and we definitely used some of the information from our cast seeing it of things that we need to do to improve our show, and kind of almost spying on them in kind of a way to just kind of make our show, because they went first, you kind of use them now to build onto our show.
So when you say that the numbers, you're practicing all the numbers and some of them are looking flat and some of them aren't looking good, for the people that are listening and maybe have never been to a performance, what does that mean when you're practicing? If you're practicing this for right now, you're saying practices might last up to 3 to 4 or 5 hours a night. What does that look like when you're trying to perform a number maybe for the 4th or 5th time in a day, or when something looks flat, what does the cast need to do in order to kind of get that energy back in place?
Just run through it a bunch, really, and take it step by step, piece it together, the dancing and then the singing, harmonies and stuff.
We definitely broke a lot of our songs apart yesterday. I know there were 2 that we were having a little trouble with, and we broke it apart. And going back to the thing with the other schools' performances, I think one of the things that other performances in general do is they bring out the competition, and that brings out the better side of us, and it makes us more motivated to do better.
Raises the stakes and energy.
Yeah. I think that going down to the breaking apart thing, I think that's been really helpful for our cast in the past couple of days, especially with how we've been breaking things apart with number by number, where we'll sing through it first and we'll fix the harmonies or stuff like that, and then we'll move on to doing it piece by piece, each little dance step, just to make everything super really clean. And then we slowly put it all back together again, because right now we know everything. It's just a matter of making everything look super clean, and that's what the process we're doing right now.
So if I'm watching in the audience and I'm watching it on the first or second night, how would I really ever be able to tell that a performance is, quote, super clean? Or is that only for you all in the performance that you know exactly what it's supposed to look like? When you're saying super clean and you guys are talking about refining all this different stuff, as me who goes to see this one time, would I even notice if something isn't, quote, super clean?
Well, it depends if everyone's together within the dances and stuff, and if the harmonies are all there, it'll definitely sound a lot more full. So, I mean, you can definitely notice.
Yeah. Whether you're an actor or not, I know, since I've gotten more into theater, I've been, critiquing more of shows and movies. But if it's a good performance, I think no matter who you are, you can really tell, that it was very good.
Yeah, I think there's 2 different sides. I think as a cast, we know exactly everything that needs to happen, and if it wasn't good enough, as the prior night before. But if you're in the, watching it in the audience, I think you can tell if something is good. There's a there's like a sight line kind of thing that you know when it's good, but you won't know everything that the cast knows, but the cast will know every little small detail that they messed up on. So that's kind of that thing.
So is there an example of a number or something that you've done that you know right now is like pretty like 100%, like you got it, everyone's good, like something that you like, what has that experience been like as you've kind of progressed from, like, remember the last time we talked, you were just getting on the stage for the first time, to now you're talking about fine-tuning some performances. Is there one right now that you would say is like, we got this one down?
I'd say maybe Call on Dolly. That's looking pretty good as long as everyone smiles. That's like one of the biggest things recently. We need to look like we're enjoying it so that the audience can enjoy it. Like if we're all up there all miserable, the audience is gonna kind of be miserable. Feel that low energy.
And how, just while you're saying that, how difficult is that? I know my daughter, who's dances, and she's in 4th grade, and there are sometimes when she dances where I know she knows the steps, but it looks like on her face she's trying to remember them. And how difficult is that for you all, that you're in several different numbers, to like not look like you are like right step, left step, go here, move this, do that. Like you're trying to just do it as naturally as possible. How difficult of a process is that?
It's just practice and practice, because there's so many things we have to put together into this, like the facial expression, the singing, and the dancing. Like it all kind of has to go together. And like if you can be doing the steps right, but you're focusing so much on it you forget to smile or something or sing. And it's just after you practice it for so long, it kind of comes naturally, and you can't. After a while, I know for me that I can't do the dance without smiling or singing. Like it all gets connected in a way, or like I can't sing it without doing the dance or something like that. Like it kind of all like gets connected into my brain, and then I just naturally do it that way.
Muscle memory.
That's
key.
Yeah, like an athlete, or like somebody that just does something repetition over and over again. Mm-hmm. So would you say, so how many times, like since the last time we met, how many times have you practiced or performed something with that the number that you said that you really that you guys really have? What would you say the number of practices or hours of practice that it's taken to get the one number to like a spot where you guys think it's really good?
Well, that's like one of the first numbers, so we started working on that like right off the bat, so we had a lot more time to work on it. I don't know,
it's one of the more simple numbers too. Like, not to say that it is simple by itself. Yeah. But compared to like the big dance numbers,
Waiter's Gallop,
Sunday Close, that too.
I think Waiter's Gallop is the one we've spent the most time on, because it's not a difficult dance in itself, but it is a matter of we're running across the stage in different orders and different pairs, like constantly. And it's just a matter of knowing when you go out and the path you take on stage. And it's just chaos. We've probably spent like at least like 10 full rehearsals on that, which I don't even know how many hours that is. And we're still even just spending like an hour a day on this dance in our like 4-hour rehearsals after school.
Yeah, because now we have props and costumes to also deal with while doing that scene, which changes it up, because that is a prop heavy number.
Yeah. About how long ago in the process did you start to add all the different props and different stuff in? Because it's got to be a lot different when you're just learning the dance, and then if you're wearing the costume or using all the different things that are going to be on stage to kind of then learn the dance that way too.
A week or two, I guess.
Costumes came last week, and we were practicing with some props, not a lot, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But when the costumes came and we actually started using all the props, then we finally realized, because we had all of the run members and the prop members, we finally realized, this is really crowded back here. We have to start, working out, just have this area clear so people can run through. And I know, now, I'm, a part that I never had to worry about before. I have to, full out sprint around a booth and, come back in only just in time. And it's really difficult.
Shout out to the set builders. It looks amazing.
It does. It looks awesome.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that hopefully maybe afterwards we'll kind of track down if there are any freshmen that were involved in the set and that part. Maybe we'll get a chance to kind of catch up with those people as well too, to kind of get a little bit more input. So we're, since about a month since the last time we spoke, and what would you say has been the big thing or big learning experience or thing that maybe you weren't expecting to be as intense at that point, that now that it's been about a month later, it's like, wow, I never imagined was going to be like this. Like what if anything has kind of gone above your expectations?
I'd say how close you get with your fellow cast members.
Definitely.
Like as it's like getting closer to the show, you're doing more and more with them. Like for mic checks, we have to actually sing in front of everyone, solo, no music. And I was shaking the first time.
And now we're all just like, oh, whatever. Everyone here has heard us sing before. We were all like,
yeah,
I'm going to say like friends, because like we all really just
Mm-hmm.
know each other. And we're all just like, okay, I'm just going to sing for these people now. It's like, I know them, they know me, and we're fine.
Yeah, all the seniors are really like encouraging and
They're
stuff.
yeah,
It's
they're
really
really
nice.
nice.
It's awesome. Mason?
I don't have anything to add. I think that was really accurate. I think it's just a matter of now we've just become all so close in this like experience together, and it's been really nice, like, and just refreshing to talk to everyone and just have a nice community to go to after school each day, and just kind of like it's almost like a calming down thing for me after school, and that's a really nice thing to have, because it's not always like that, and that's a really nice thing to have.
So as we move towards opening night, I know Tuesday the 17th is the like preview night. I think is at the senior when they do
Gold card, yeah.
the gold card senior preview night. So what is it like? I know you guys have all been in performances before, but what is it? Is there a different level of anticipation? I don't want to say anxiety, but like that like natural like fear of like performing now that it's the first high school one, and the prestige that comes with being in an Emmaus theater department production. Is that part kind of kicked in yet? Like, or are you just kind of so into the practicing that maybe it's like, I'm just gonna get up there and do what I have to do?
I think that at the beginning of any show, no matter what it is, you're going to feel that nervousness, and that'll like help you do better. But for opening night, it's going to be a real experience, because as you said, this is our first Emmaus show, so there's definitely going to be a little more pressure on us. Like, I know for me personally, like, I was hearing about Emmaus from like watching the Freddies before, and now I'm like actually here, and I know some of the people who've been at the Freddies, and it makes me very proud to see how far I've come from like watching them to maybe even being at them. And it will definitely affect our performance, and I hope in a positive way.
Yeah, I don't think you can really compare the nerves and jitters of the opening night to anything.
No.
It's just unreal. I mean, even that gold card thing we're still going to be very stressed out. But I'm hoping we'll be able to run through it. Like this weekend, we're going to have a lot of hours put into this. We can run through it like just nonstop enough times so that it's kind of like real muscle memory, and it's not too big of a change, I guess.
Mason, anything for you in terms of nervousness or anxiety, anticipation?
I'm ready. I just feel now that it's just a matter of getting everything solid, and I'm really excited more than nervous. I know I'm going to be nervous the night of, but I'm just really excited to do this performance we've been working on for so long. And I think I'm going to use the gold card performance as almost like a trial run. I mean, it's a great opportunity to have that before we open. It's almost like a mini preview. It's still an opening night, but you can use it as almost like a mental preview for yourself of what's going to happen, because you still want to put on the same show you do for them, but it's different from like an opening night, in my opinion. So I'm just really excited for just to show everyone what we've been working on.
So if we stay according to our normal schedule here, as you go into the weekend, what does the weekend before the opening of the show, what is that looking like for you all, like practice-wise and getting ready?
Practice-wise, on Saturday, we have rehearsal 9 in the morning to possibly 6 at night. I'm saying possibly because
It's gonna go longer.
yeah, it's probably gonna go longer.
Okay.
I'm thinking like 8:30, maybe somewhere around there.
And at that point, you'll basically run through the entire show?
Yeah, hopefully like at least twice.
And that would be like show from start to finish?
Yes.
Yeah. And then anything on Sunday leading up to it at all? Or
I think we've left Sundays free mostly. So unless we do,
Rest.
unless we do really
Sunday.
horribly on Saturday, and it's like something that we can't like definitely can't fix on Monday alone, then they're gonna leave Sunday free. I hope.
Cool. So I do have to ask, since we're in the current state of the world that we're in about the COVID-19 and coronavirus, is there any sort of, if we have the performances, is there any sort of like, not necessarily fear, but like anxiety about doing it in front of a public audience, of different people that are coming in?
I wouldn't say there's a fear. I'd say more people are angry because we've been practicing for months, and I know that people have been like saying, what happens if they close the school, like even just for cleaning? Well, we don't know if they're going to cancel the show, which probably not, or they'll postpone it. So if they do end up closing the school, then we're probably going to have to wait a long time. I don't think they would cancel the show. I'm trying to stay optimistic with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would cancel it. They would just postpone it. And with people in the audience, like, if there truly was an outbreak here, I know they've closed several schools today.
Yep.
I have younger siblings who got out of school like an hour ago. And
Not in the East Penn School District, by the way, if you're
no,
listening.
they're not. And I know if they're like a proven case 100%, then I'm just hoping they postpone the show.
Yeah, and I think that's what I hope, with all the effort you guys have put into the performance, I think it would that's got to be the worst part about this, is the anxiety or the knowledge that it might not happen, and you're putting all this effort into it and all this time, and then hopefully the rug isn't like pulled out from underneath everybody like the 2 days before the show, or did they come up with a plan for all of you as to like what that's going to look like. I don't know if anyone else wanted to chime in about that, or just kind of...
Yeah, I'm just genuinely scared because there's so much at stake with all this stuff. I'm not scared of the virus.
Yeah.
Because, with what I've heard, I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm scared for,
The show.
The show and my family. Like that, it's just kind of scary. And I know it's just to like slow, like we're closing the school, not for, well, it is for health, but to stop it from spreading so rapidly. And also, this talk of having to do work over the break and then also maybe having to stay 2 extra weeks in summer is very much causing me anxiety. Because I've been looking forward to summer so much.
And just so I'm clear, at the point of us recording this on the Thursday, March 12th, there has been no indication that the school is closing. There's no indication that we will be out. It's just kind of looking around what's going around the area. The question was, thinking about like last night, the NBA postponed their season. I saw on Broadway that they're greatly reducing the cost of tickets for current shows to get people to go, because they're trying to get over the fears of people not wanting to go to shows. So it's just trying to think of, if you were in that performance, obviously you're not really concentrating on what's the outside stuff, but it's got to be something that people are talking about, and it's is it like weighing down like the practices, or is everyone just kind of eyes on the prize here?
Definitely eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
I know, like, when we're, like, right before rehearsal and right after it, we've been, like, discussing what would happen, because none of our directors have told us or talked to us even about what would happen. But during rehearsal, it's definitely totally focused.
Awesome. And I don't know, Mason, is there anything else that you wanted to add in here as we're kind of getting ready to wrap up, as we kind of we close it down here? The next time that we'll speak to all of you is after the performance. Hopefully the performances are next week, and we'll kind of catch up in the week after that. Is there anything that you want to add in or say before the curtain drops on Tuesday?
I'm ready. I'm so excited, and I know the fears of the coronavirus are like here, and people are worried about postponing and stuff. But I think health is the most important thing, especially for our cast too, because what would stink is if we do the show and something happens. I mean, so I think it's really just a matter of all of us just being ready for no matter what. And I think we're all just so excited for, even if the show gets postponed, which I really hope it doesn't, and I don't think that will be a thing that will happen, but I think everyone's ready and excited. So
Okay, guys that are in person here, anything else you want to add in before we sign off?
Come see the show.
Yep. So you can go on to the Emmaus High School website. The tickets are still available. There's a banner right on the front that tells you how to buy the tickets. Be on the lookout if in case the show is postponed, that you will know all the different dates. We're hoping that it's not. These guys have put in a lot of work. We started talking to them all the way back in December, so we're here in March, and hopefully next week we hear great things about the show, and if not, we'll figure out when it's going to be. But again, guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk with us leading up to the show here. Sounds like it's going pretty well, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see it next week. So thanks a lot. I know the show tradition is to say break a leg, so I will say that as we kind of go out. So thanks a lot.
Thanks for having
you.
us.